What's up, everybody? So doing something a little different today. I don't normally get into too much exhaust work, but this is my daughter's car and she bottoms out a lot because we've lowered it. It's not the 97. I don't know if y'all remember or not, but the 97 developed a rod knock. I parted it out. She's got a 95 now, but let me show you what's going on. So when she bottoms out, she's hitting right here, and since we switched to the 95, actually this is the exhaust off the 97, but she doesn't bottom out in this car near as much. So I've done a lot of research. We got a big hole right here. I've done a lot of research and I found that this stuff is supposedly the best on the market. I already tried patching it once with some kind of like JB Weld type stuff and then another wrap, but it didn't work at all. It blew out within minutes after she drove down the street. So we're gonna try this Holts stuff. So what I've got here is the Holts exhaust assembly paste, and basically I'm just gonna squeeze that on the exhaust and cover up the hole. And then I have what's called a Holts bandage repair. And this is going to go over that, and then it will clamp down onto the paste and the hole, keeping everything in place. And then I might even add another clamp on either end here, but let's see how this works out. And then this can take, it says to give it up to I think 12 hours to dry, or you can run the car at idle for about a half hour. So that's probably what I'll do is run the car for an hour or a half hour and just idle it, and that way it'll dry up. But I think with this on it, that's going to make a huge difference. So let's see how this works out. So first thing you want to do is clean this up best you can. This being on the flex pipe and down pipe, it's really hard because it's got the wire mesh right there. But I did use a sanding block, and you can see the parts cleaner still kind of dripping a little bit. So I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll do the paste and clamp. Alright, that's all dried up. So now I'm just gonna go around and basically just fill this up with paste. I don't want to push, a whole bunch into the hole or anything either, because if it breaks up, that would cause problems in the cat probably. So we're just gonna paste that up in there, and it is gonna be kind of messy, but that's okay. The clamp's gonna cover everything up. I just want to make sure that it's making a good seal. That's the biggest thing. So I'm going to let that dry for a couple minutes or a little bit, and then see if I can put like a second coat on it maybe before I clamp it down. I don't know, this might be a complete waste of time, and it might actually work really good, so we'll see. I think the clamp is going to make the huge difference though. I'm just using a little heat gun to help this set a little faster, and then I'll put a second coat on it. But you can touch it already. It's been about 5 minutes. It's not wet anymore. It's still wet on the inside, and watch it'll bubble out in a second here. I just want to put a little more coat on there before I strap that clamp on. I think it'll help a lot. So that's pretty heated up. Feels like it's already set. It's only been about 10 minutes maybe. It's still a little play in it. So now that it's nice and warm though, I'm gonna let it sit and dry up just a little bit more, and then I'll do another round of that, and then we'll get that clamp on there, and I think that's gonna do the trick. I think with the clamp, it's actually gonna stay in place. Let me show this to you guys. So when I got it, it was wrapped up rather small, and this is actually adjustable. So this one was on here and it was clamped together. But when I pre-fit it, it actually was pretty wide. But like I said, it's adjustable. It's got another one of these down here. So you just slip this in. You just slip this in into here. This is hard to do on camera. I'm standing behind my camera. And then once you get it wrapped on, you'll clamp that up. And then what I might end up doing, this is the only one that I found that was actually flexible like this. And I think that makes a huge difference because you can wrap it around. Like this being the downpipe, there's, it's not one set, just easy tube. So what I might end up doing once I get this clamp down is put another clamp on this side and put another clamp on this side just to make sure it's down solid. But this thing's rather neat. I like that it's flexible like that, and I think it's gonna fit on there really good. And this right here is about the size of her hole, so that should cover it up really good. So it's already firming up pretty good. I can touch it and it's almost pretty solid except for right over here. So I'm gonna wait just a few more minutes and then I'll do my other coat. But yeah, it's not taking long at all to set. So once I do another coat on there, then we'll clamp that. Alright, that's feeling pretty good to me. Good enough to slap a second coat on there. So what I'll do is do another coat and then I'll kind of set that with my heat gun a little bit. But when I put the clamp on there, I actually want it to squish. So I'm not gonna set it as much as I did on this one because I want the clamp to squish it when it closes up. Probably be a good idea if you're not used to stuff like this to wear some gloves maybe. Whoops, that's a little thin. Hang on, let me mix this up a little bit. Started coming out really runny there. I think I got it though. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Kind of hard stuff to work with. It doesn't really, it's not like really solid or nothing. It's really thin, so. Alright, this should do the trick. Once I put the clamp on there, it should all just kind of stick together. I'm going to let that sit for a couple minutes and let it kind of set a little bit. Alright, so I put my heat gun on that, and just to give it a little bit of a skin, I'm not going to play with it at all. It's pretty much the way I want it to be. So now I'll go ahead and wrap this on here. And then I want to make sure that I get the middle part right over that hole. And I don't want my clamp to be down here, of course, because then you have even more chances of bottoming out on it again, which we don't want. So we'll put this in here and then see if I can't get that started. I don't know if it's long enough, but let's see. It seems like it is. Just need to get it in the right spot there. Kind of hard to get it started, but I think once I get it, there we go. Now I can move that where I want. And then we'll clamp this down as tight as I can. I think I kind of went. Go ahead and give that a good clamp. My hand's probably right in your guys' way. it's pretty tight. As you can see, it's squishing out some of the stuff. So I'm gonna put another clamp here and another clamp here. So let me find some more clamps. I really think this is gonna work. It's totally squishing it out too, so I think. Alright, so I found 2 clamps that are gonna work for me, I think. Go ahead and get these tightened down. And this stuff doesn't have to be pretty. I mean, it's just exhaust, so, but I just want to make sure that it's not gonna go anywhere and it's actually gonna stay sealed this time. I really don't want to replace the downpipe and headers again. You can't buy just this downpipe because they're custom headers, so you gotta have the custom downpipe to go with it. So that's pretty tight. Let's get this one tightened down. I'm gonna get an 8mm. I want those a little bit tighter. Yeah, there we go. So that one tightened down really good. Let's do the same for this one. So they're all tightened down pretty darn solid. This should definitely do the trick because the hole's like right there. So I got it the best I could on there. And then let me show you how that, it just tightened up and just kind of hugged the pipe. It's really cool actually. So it just kind of hugged the pipe and it looks like it's sealed up real tight too. So what I want to do now is start the car, let it idle for about a half hour, let that dry. So I've been doing some other work to the car and letting this sit, and it's feeling pretty solid to me, so I'm going to go ahead and start it up and let it run for about a half hour. It hasn't been 12 hours, but it's been, I don't know, I'd say a good probably 5 or 6 hours. But here's the 97. It was actually blue, or this is the 95, but I've used some parts from the 97 to get everything together. I just need to adjust the hood now and it's done. So I know some of you haven't seen the 95 yet. We've been swapping parts over and getting it back to the way her 97 was, but it's pretty clean honestly. It's got, you know, normal paint issues and stuff, but the interior, well, she's kind of got it a mess, but the interior is actually in really good condition. And then the hood, I need to pull it off and step on it so I can get this side to close down. But yeah, I reused the hood because there was damage on the left side, and if you remember on her 97 she damaged the driver's side. Well, that's why the hood's popped up a little bit over there, but I'll be able to fix that. But by putting on the bumper and the panel here, that cleaned up this side because there was quite a bit of damage over here. But I got that taken care of, and this is the 95, so it's not bad at all. It's the 1.8 liter, and it runs really good. So let's get her fired up, see how the exhaust is sounding. I should be able to tell pretty much right away. It's gonna sound so much better, I'm sure. It sounded horrible. You know, your normal exhaust leak sound. So let's get this fired up. It's got 257,000 miles on it. But yeah, you can hear it. It runs really good, really solid. Exhaust sounds way better. Got a much more flow out of there. So let's get it lifted up and see how it feels underneath. So I already can tell a huge difference when I pulled it in this morning. All the noise was up front. So let's see how it feels. There might be a very little slight leakage over here, but compared to what it was, that is way better. So we'll see how this does. I mean, I won't know until she drives it around a little bit and see if it blows out or not. Well, I'm gonna let it run for about a half hour and let that stuff dry up. Should be good. So I'll link this stuff in my description if you guys have an exhaust leak and want to take care of it. It seems to work pretty good. I'll do a follow-up in a couple days before I post this video to let you know if it held or not. But anyway, that's that. Alright, so it's been about 3 weeks since I did the repair on the exhaust here. Amazing. It's holding great. I don't see any problems at all, and it looks like it even expands a little bit when it dries, because this part like really bubbled up here. It's kind of neat, but it's solid. But yeah, no problems at all. She's got no more leak going here, and she's not bottoming out on it, so we should be good to go. It's awesome. If you're looking for a good exhaust repair, that'll do the trick.